Hello, hello, everyone. I'm so excited to have this moment with you and share about why food, nutrition, and health matters during your pregnancy. I was on a call with a previous client, friend, and colleague, and we were just chatting. And I was like, this story needs to be told, and people need to understand why I'm like so adamant about health and why this has shifted. So you guys know that I've been a doula for a long time. Really, I started my training in 2009, and then I got certified in 2010. And so I've been working in Central Arkansas as a certified doula. Since that time up until and even now, I still am. I'm also a lactation counselor, a childbirth educator. I got certified in dancing for birth. I was also, I don't know what else you want to name, placenta encapsulation specialist. And my current journey that started in 2020, in the fall of 2020, is apprentice midwifery to the goal of becoming a licensed midwife here in the state of Arkansas. So, what I'm going to do today is we're going to bring on a guest, a friend of mine, a previous client, friend, colleague, like all the things, sister in the faith. And I want her, like, I want us to just, we're letting you in a little bit on our lives and kind of what we do in real life. So, welcome, Tierra Piggy.
Hey,
Hi, P. How's it going?
I'm good. You may see a little hand kind of like reach up here. It's not a
Yeah.
gremlin, it's my son.
Well, we definitely see and hear him smacking and carrying on. So that's
hmm
perfect. And that goes with the theme, right? It's necessary. So let me tell you, I want our audience to know a little bit about you. Tell them a little bit about yourself, like what you do and like how many children you have and just kind of just a little brief background.
Okay. So I am a wife of one,
I say that too, because it's a big deal. Anyways, I support it. You're a wife of one.
of
Yeah.
one Cordell Biggie.
Yeah.
And then I'm a mom of four. And I also am a registered nurse by trade. I'm a trained doula, and I am a certified lactation counselor and now
Mhm.
a regenerative health coach. So life is busy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. So, talk to us a little bit about your pregnancies. So, you have had some previous, obviously births, and you've had some experiences there. Tell me what that was like. Tell me a little bit about just how you felt during the pregnancies. You shared a story with me before. I want you to kind of tap into that, but like, how did you feel, going into it?
Yeah. So my my oldest daughter is 13. She'll be 14 in July. And with that pregnancy, I was very, very depleted. And I don't even think I've told you this before, Nicole. I was so depleted, my teeth were falling apart. And I think, yeah, I think most people think that that's like, oh, well, you just weren't getting enough calcium and your baby was pulling it for herself. But like, I literally lost a tooth while I was pregnant with her.
Mm,
Had really horrible cravings. I was depressed for several reasons, but nonetheless, I was depressed that entire pregnancy. And
mhm,
then afterwards, I went through postpartum anxiety and depression. Never really told anybody, just kind of dealt with it. Didn't realize that's what was going on. I just was trying to combat the thoughts that I was having in my mind to like abandon her or harm her.
mm.
No clue that this was something I needed help with. But I thank God for carrying us through that season.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I have three other children that are a lot younger than her. So they are 4, 2, and 6 months. So with the 4-year old, things were, pretty good with her. I did have some anemia during pregnancy, and probably dealt with a little bit of postpartum anxiety.
Mhm,
With my oldest son, who is 2, that pregnancy was it was pretty good. Um, it was I probably also had some postpartum anxiety. Definitely
mhm,
struggled to get the weight back off after
mhm,
him.
mhm,
I was nowhere near post birth weight like a year after, and then I got pregnant with my fourth son.
Okay.
well, my fourth
First
child. And so
child.
I
Yeah.
was like, ooh, here we go. Whole nother kid. I'm still nursing one, and I was working full time as a nurse,
Hmm.
just really tired all the time, like
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
Pregnancies are hard for me.
Hmm.
Um, I'm
They
not
are.
a I'm
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 like,
a
they are.
small person. You know, you're with me for the last two. You know, and
Hmm.
like I was just kind of I was honestly stressed. My husband and I both did not want to get pregnant again until I'd had a chance to like wean my son and get my body back into proper shape so that maybe
Hmm.
it wouldn't be so difficult. God had
Right.
other plans.
Yes.
Um
Yes.
so it was very very different, but my postpartum journey this go around was much different than the previous ones. Do you want me to kind of go into that or
So I want to kind of pause a little bit, and I want to like camp out at how you felt during the pregnancy with Josh. You and what were the things that were concerning you as a mom about to be a mom of four? Like what was going on in your head, what you were feeling physically. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, you did. You did.
So I was working, of course, I was working full time as a nurse, and my husband and I are in full time ministry. We had our three little ones, and I was just exhausted every day, like
Hmm.
all the time. And it was to the point where some Wednesdays he just would be like, "I can't come today. Like T's tired. I have to help," and I would just clonk out on the couch. And he was so sweet. He never complained. He just picked up the slack, but I knew he's worried about me, and I knew he was just overwhelmed
Yeah.
with being a husband, being a dad, working full time, and just trying to figure out all the things and making sure that I was really okay too.
Yeah.
Physically was just hard. I didn't sleep well. I just hurt all the time. And he's like, I just feel helpless, and I want to be able to do something, but I know I can't. So he would just pick up my slack, and because that's what he could control. And it
Right.
was just concerning. Like I couldn't be mentally and emotionally present for my kids. And
Yeah.
I really hated that. I love my kids. I love being a mom, but there was
Hmm.
just it was hard. There was just it was very difficult to be connected when I'm like, I'm just trying to make it through the day
Yeah.
so we can pay this mortgage because
Yeah.
I got to go to
Yeah.
work. That's
Yeah.
it. That's all I
Yeah.
had.
I do remember and okay, let me ask you this too. Did you feel like, though that wasn't ideal, did you feel like that was kind of like normal to be expected almost?
I did. I felt like that it was normal for several reasons. I had had back to back pregnancies. So
Hmm.
I was like, this is just kind of what it is. My body hasn't had a chance to rebound. And um, I also don't carry children very well. Like it's very, very hard on my body. So I was like, this is just my plight. Let me
Hmm.
get through my 9 months and I'll
Yeah.
be okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Talk to me about the day that you came to my office. So, what you guys don't know is that I had the opportunity to be um, like Tiara's midwife. I was an apprentice, or am an apprentice still. So, I was her student midwife. There was a licensed midwife there. But just for everybody over there creeping and got something to say. um, so I was privileged to be able to be in that position with her, and it was beautiful to see this transition from my side, from being a doula to then being someone providing actual care. And one of the things that I had started my own journey to like revitalize my health and kind of get my health on track because of the work that I was required to do as like as an apprentice and eventually a licensed midwife. Like that work is wild. It's demanding. It's demanding. Did I say it's demanding? Yeah, it's demanding. And you need to show up for people well and be able to like quickly think and like know how to navigate and what's the next move and be 10 steps ahead of what's going on. And so when Tiara was coming to my office, like I'm going to be honest, and I don't know if I've ever said this to you, but like during your pregnancy, like you broke my heart like a lot, because I was just like, I don't know how to fix this. You know what I mean? Like you would come in and you were just like, you know what I mean? It was like, oh, I'm excited to see Tiara. I don't know what we're gonna get today, kind of deal. So tell the people how you felt and that one particular day where things started to shift for you.
So I remember I came in and this was like after I'd worked an 8 hour day, drove from Little Rock to Conway, just like a 30-40 minute drive,
Mhm.
after picking up all of my kids and came to the prenatal appointment. And I remember like I got up on the bed table thing and I was like, I feel like straight up trash on the side of the road on a hot Arkansas day. Those
Yeah.
are my words because
Yeah.
that was all I had. I just felt terrible. And the funny thing is, I would come in and I'm like, I just need Nicole to fix me. I need her to tell me something to fix this. Um, and so I just felt horrible. And I remember you were like, here, I want you to take this. You handed me some Power Shake and some Super
Mhm.
Aminos and
Mhm.
Biomedic. You were like,
Yep.
just here, just drink it, just take it. And I was like, okay. I trusted you. I knew you weren't going to give me anything crazy that would hurt
Right.
me or my baby.
Right.
And so you were like, it's going to give you energy. It's not going to give you like crackhead energy or anything. You're going to feel good. Just take it. So I
Mhm.
drank it. I took them and I was, we finished our appointment. I drove home and I was able to cook dinner, interact with my kids, get them all to bed, get in the bed myself at a very reasonable hour rather than crashing on the couch and leaving my husband to fend for himself and the kids. And that was like really life changing. I was
Mhm.
like, oh, this is amazing. Like this is great stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I love that because, when I kind of talking about this, I get really passionate and like sometimes my passion is so much like I get inarticulate, which, if you know me, that's strange. That must be some real passion there. But like the reality of how many women are feeling like hot trash on a Arkansas hot summer day, you know what I mean? During their pregnancies, and they're going to their providers, and their providers don't have solutions. They're saying, oh, it's okay, just try this, or maybe take this supplement, or take this pill, take this drug that has other consequences, other side effects that then can exacerbate the actual issue and never getting to the root of the problem. And so I was on my own health journey to like get myself like in shape and like revitalize my body from the inside out because of the massive work that I was like knew I was embarking on. And so at the time, I had not incorporated this protocol into my practice. I was utilizing it and I was like, it's helping me and it's giving me life. And so let me share it with like my clients and especially you, Tiara, because our relationship is just on another level. So I was like, I gotta share it with her. And so because you were so just like depleted and like unhealthy, you know what I mean? And not because you were trying to be, because
Right.
really there was a lack of information, and the things that we have learned now, we have unlearned a lot of those things and understand more about soil health and how the health of our soil is poor. And as a result of that, our food isn't actually taking in all of the nutrients that it's supposed to. Most of our produce in the grocery store is not ripened on the vine, meaning it's not ripe when it's plucked and like shipped to the store, and it's supposed to ripe in transition. Maybe it's ripe. And so the things that we're putting in are a lot of chemical toxins, pesticides, herbicides, things that are making us sick, and so only exacerbating the the drain that you feel already, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
how long did you get on this protocol, or did you get on that protocol during your pregnancy? Talk to me about a little bit like what that looked like for you during the pregnancy with the
So
protocol.
it came in literally like days before I went into labor with
Okay.
Josh.
Yep.
I think we probably actually opened it up while I was in labor.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yep.
y'all like opened it up and gave it to me while I was in labor. Josh
Mm-hmm.
was literally the longest labor out of all of my kids.
Mm-hmm.
I am a precipitous laborer. Like I labor really quickly. And so I was like, oh, he's going to be here in a few hours. Let's go. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Nope. I labored all day that Monday, and then he didn't come until Tuesday, the wee hours of Tuesday morning.
Mhm.
And y'all were trying to get me to eat and get some food in me, and I just didn't have it. But the me having Power Shake really did help me to have the energy and the fuel that I
Mhm.
needed. And
Mhm.
then moving into the postpartum phase,
Yeah. Talk to us.
I would not have, there's no way I would have been able to function. It's already hard enough to function with one newborn. It's hard. Like with one kid, it's hard. You're feeding every 1.5 to 2 hours. Who's
Mhm.
sleeping? Not you.
Yep.
But for me to have a newborn and at the time, 1 year old,
Mhm.
a 3 year old, and a 13-year old. It was just crazy, crazy town. And so
Yep.
my husband wasn't able to stay home as long with me as he did with previous. My mom wasn't able to stay with me as long as she normally did either. So I was like, how in the world am I going to manage like pick
Yeah.
up and drop off with a newborn? And I was able to do it. And I was so shocked, but so relieved because I didn't want to be emotionally or mentally neglectful of my children. Wouldn't have been purposeful, but it's hard to be present when you are so exhausted. Like apothecary was my life. The little bit of time that I was able to doze off, it was very deep and restful sleep, and then
Yeah.
it didn't knock me out. I didn't have to take something that was going to like crash me, and then I'm not able to feed my son. I mean,
Right.
those are serious things to consider when you need a
Mhm.
sleep aid. If I take this, is this going to cross over into my breast milk? Well, if it is, I can't take it now. I'm just going to be
Yeah.
tired.
Yep.
um, Knowing that everything I was ingesting was totally safe, even if it crossed over into my breast milk, you can't, like, there's not the price you put on that type of peace.
Yeah.
And then my kids, they snatch up a glass, they don't know what's in it. My little people are like, Mommy, I want to taste this. They're drinking it, and I don't have to be worried about it. That is life. That's life giving and life changing
Yeah.
for any mom.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so true. And so, as an up and coming practitioner, it was important to me to provide a solution or options to this undue suffering that women are experiencing during their pregnancy. So, prenatal health and why it should matter and why it should matter to you. The deal is, it should matter to you because it can affect everything else. And when I say everything else, I mean everything else. So you're like, I feel a little bit depressed. Food matters. I feel a little bit my stretch marks. My skin is separating. I don't have much elasticity in my skin. Food matters. Your health
Mm-hmm.
matters on the front end. I have a hard time conceiving. Your health matters. There's so many things, so many layers. I'm worried about like being able to produce. Can I produce? I've got kidney stones or my gallbladder. I mean, all of these things that
Mm-hmm.
like women are experiencing and they're suffering and they're thinking that it's okay because I mean, my mama had it, my sister had it, my friend had it, and they just took this other drug that then exacerbated the issue even more. And
Right.
so as a result, I've incorporated this, what's called superfood, into my protocol for my clients. And there's a power shake, and it's basically a drink, and it's food. And so you scoop it, pour it in water, coconut water. You can do a nut milk or something like that if you would prefer. Shake it up, you drink it. 97% of your daily nutrients is in there. And guess what? It's not hard on your body. It's the right fuel for your human life engine. And so your body goes, whoop, shout, I ain't had this. Like what? And then immediately you start to feel difference because living food brings alive cells. And we are
Mm-hmm.
comprised of so many cells, right? And what we're doing is often feeding ourselves nutrition that has isolated chemistry. Basically, it's made in a lab. And so it's things that our body doesn't recognize and doesn't know what to do with. And so I've, again, incorporated that. So I'm helping women get 97% of their daily nutrients in a drink. What? Okay. But we won't stop there. Also, protein, right? Women are like, I need protein, I need protein, I need protein. Well, how are you going to get this protein? And oftentimes the amounts of protein that you're getting or that you're needing, you're not able to get. But what you're missing is that you need these essential amino acids. And so these amino acids are necessary. So in this, protocol that I provide my clients, there is super amino 23, which is pre-digested plant-based like protein, basically, or essential amino acids that your body can absorb in 23 minutes, and your body recognizes it as food, as amino acids, and the essential things that we can't actually get from like other substances. And so even if we're doing animal protein, which if that's your preference, that's your preference. But understand everything that that animal has taken in to its body, and all of the antibiotics, hormones, all of that that's been injected to that animal is also coming to your dinner table. And that's what you're also getting. You're thinking you're just getting protein, but your body doesn't even recognize some of those proteins and can only absorb sometimes up to 20% of what's in there. So you're like, oh, it's 20 grams of protein. You're only absorbing 20% potentially of the protein that's in there. The rest, your body's like, I don't know what is this? The rest, your body's trying to figure out what to do, and then stores as dis-ease in your body, stores as maybe spilling protein in your urine, which leads to preeclampsia. You know what I mean? So there's all of these layers. And apothecary, what we take, our body doesn't make, right? So when we take isolated chemistry like things, our body, it sends a signal like, oh, we don't need to make this. So if we're taking it, we won't make it. And so that is something that we need to kind of tune into. So we've got a power shake that comes with it. We've got the super aminos 23. We also have the apothecary, which is dark tart cherries, organically grown in regenerative soil, and vine ripened, wind dried, allowed and brought to your table from farm to your front door, which is huge, huge, huge. I can't even stress this enough. And like, what we're seeing is so much disease. And then the last thing is a biomedic. So this gut brain connection is huge. It is huge, not just during pregnancy, but also in pregnancy, because your gut microbiome, you're passing to your baby. Have you ever seen a newborn with eczema? Yeah, you have. And why? Why would your newborn baby be full of eczema? Well, it's because your gut microbiome was poor. Your gut health was poor, if we're just going to be honest, and you pass that microbiome to your baby. Your baby was born into that. So prenatal health is important, and it matters because you're passing this on to the next generation, through what you're consuming. So I feel like it's time out for like being light and dancing around the fact that like during your pregnancy is the time that you need to seek to be the most healthiest that you can be. And even I would argue and kind of push the envelope, like before you try to get pregnant, that's when you really need to start doing that work. So before you even conceive, it's time to start digging into that work and getting your health on track on the cellular level from jump. I'm so passionate about this, and I get frustrated because women are passive when it comes to their health and their children and the next generation. And they're like, oh, it's fine. I mean, you can't do anything about it anyway. And we have childhood obesity at alarming rates. We have autism at alarming rates. This has not always been our culture. It has not always been our society. Women, when they're birthing their babies, they're tearing and they're like, oh, please encapsulate my placenta. Okay, can we talk about if you're not healthy during your pregnancy? I don't mind to encapsulate your placenta, but I can tell you now whether you're healthy or not by that placenta. Sometimes that placenta will just fall apart. And guess what? The placenta won't lie. It's not going to lie on you. You can tell me you've been eating all the veggies and the fruit that you want to, but when I look at that placenta, I can tell you that it wasn't. And so if you're birthing in the hospital. There's a lot of things that are passed over and accepted as like, oh, it's fine. Within normal limits, we can dismiss it, we can move on. But the reality is, no, you can't. No, you can't. And no, you shouldn't. If you choose to, that's your business because you've grown, right? But don't
Mm-hmm.
complain, don't ask questions, and don't be like, oh my God, they treated me unfairly. The system is out to get me, when you won't do what's right to get your life right. I got a little hot. I am actually hot right now.
No, you're absolutely correct though. I mean, so I remember when I was pregnant and I had chronic vitamin D deficiency,
Mm,
which has become so much more common now. And
yes,
it affects it can affect your mental health. It can
yes,
affect you with having
yes,
muscle pain and
yes,
just extreme exhaustion.
yes,
And that was something that I struggled with. And in my mind, I was like, I'm going to have to be on stinking vitamin D for the rest of my life. I don't have to do that anymore.
yeah,
I have diastasis
yeah,
from having all of these kids. My muscles are repairing on their own. I have had
yeah,
diastasis since my first daughter. After I gave birth to Joshua, it was about 5.5 to 6 finger width separation.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's a huge muscle separation. Like my abdominal muscles were separated that far. You
Yeah,
can't really do a whole lot like that. When your core is not working, the rest of your body overcompensates and then you're in extreme pain, which I was for the majority for my pregnancy. I was in a
yeah,
lot of pain.
yeah,
I'm literally watching my skin tighten like I'm
yes,
working out. And this separation went from about 5.5 to 6 fingers to now at its widest point, it's about 3.5. I ain't been in nobody's gym, y'all. I don't do nothing but tote this big sack of potatoes around every day. That's it. And I'm like, this is insane. But what you were saying, if you take it, you won't make it. The super aminos in the apothecary are making my body create
yes,
collagen.
yes,
So my body is, and the super aminos are repairing my muscles so that
yes,
now it can actually rebuild itself back together.
yeah,
If I didn't take control over my health and what I'm putting in it
yes,
and utilizing this, I wouldn't be able to say that. But if I was still suffering and I'm miserable, it's because I'm choosing not to do what I need
yes,
to do. And I know some people are like, well, let me just try it. But if it took you this many months or years to be in this state, it's not a try situation. You're going
yeah,
to have to do this
yeah,
and do this and
yes,
do this and do this
yes,
and then watch your body transition and see how this can really change your life. This has changed my relationship with my kids. This has
yeah,
changed my relationship with my husband. This has changed my relationship with myself. I was telling you earlier, I've never felt this sexy before. And like, it's a big deal.
yeah,
It's a big deal. And you can, like, mama, wherever you are, mama, want to be mama, soon to be mama, you don't have to suffer. You don't have to be in pain and hear all of these horror stories from other
yeah,
moms of how they
yeah,
suffered and how they don't know what to do and they're looking for solutions. They're here. You're
yeah,
looking for a sign, it's right here.
yep, yep. The sign is right here, and I love that, T. And I literally just wanted to hop on and say this, and this is again why I've chosen to incorporate this into my business and have utilized this as a business myself, because I haven't found anything else that is has a mission to really like improve health, planetary like health, and then financial wealth for families, taking the money out of the hands of the billionaires and putting it into everyday people like you and me, right? Like that's huge in and of itself. But the integrity of this company, and the quality assurance and the soil health and the way that they practice their farming practices are all the reasons why I have committed this for myself and committed this to share with my clients, because nothing else has like is at this quality, at this high level of like integrity from a company standpoint and as far as like a food standpoint. So like it, and it's changing lives, and I feel it. I personally, I'm experiencing it. I'm sharing it with others. Others are seeing it. I have clients that tell me that they've got constant headaches. They have a headache every day. And one of my clients that was, saying that, I was like, okay, her superfoods came in. I said, I need you. I'm going to check back in with you. I want to know, are you still having headaches? She was like, literally the very next day when she started it, she did not have that 12 o'clock headache that she had been having for weeks. Like, not just one story. I mean, Tiara's story is another. Many are dealing with like postpartum depression or even like depression during their pregnancy, right? And not able to like show up for themselves or function or interact. Like, that is not okay. We were not made to like be lethargic and not function and not interact and not be able to engage in human experience and relationship. That was not our creation nor our design. As we're bringing forth life through our bodies, we have to be living alive, not just walking dead. I'm talking about cellular life so that we can build cellular life in these other humans and pass that on to the next generation, to the next generation. And there have been like times where we didn't have access, we didn't have information. So you can't sit here and tell me you don't have this information because the information is here. I'm on my Facebook every other day talking about it, on my Instagram. Tiara's out here. There's so many of us out here hollering and talking about it. And many of us's are also like, oh, well, that's too much money. Or I'm going to, you know what I'm saying? And we prioritize the wrong things. You get one life, you get one body to live, like to live in, right? Steward it well. Steward it well. I'm going to end this because I feel like I'm about to go on a couple different tangents. But yeah, so prenatal health and why it matters to you, because the sickness that many of us have accepted as common and normal is not okay. And it's not normal. And there are solutions. There is hope. There is hope out there. If you are pregnant right now, and maybe you don't want me to be your doula, and maybe you don't want me to be your apprentice midwife, I'm cool with that. Ain't nobody mad. But what you can do is get locked up, linked up, and let's get some health on track, right? Don't dismiss the pains and the aches. When your body is screaming at you and crying out for a better solution, like seek out people that have done the research and digging into that to provide potential solutions to help change the game for you. So that's all we have. Thanks for sharing, T. I really appreciate you.
You're
And
welcome. Thanks for having me.
yeah, so you guys holler. Don't sit on the sidelines. Like, get into this. Bye.
Bye.